Hello everyone, Krydax here, and welcome back to Season 3 of pYanodon's. This is a special live episode because this is our 100-hour playtime stream. If you missed the base tour, I already uploaded that, and... or did I? I don't actually know. It's possible it's not uploaded yet because I have to edit that one. But if I haven't, then it'll be coming out today or tomorrow. If you're watching this video when it came out in the future, if you're not here live, which some of you are. It's so weird to be talking to a present audience and a future audience at the same time. Anyway, problem right now, we've only done a couple things since the last episode, but we discovered our ash, this is not ash, might as well be ash. It's gray ash. Our coal dust is backed up because we are shipping it over to here, but then I'm not getting rid of it. And so we need to create a coal dust trash site. And this will be our first trash site. I have not yet made any trashing stations. But this is going to be our first trashing station. I think I want it to be over here, like on the top of this block. So we'll do that. And we will set up a coal dust trashing station. Now, how are we going to trash coal dust? Well, I'm glad you asked, because I don't know yet. Right now, I don't have a lot of ways to trash coal dust. I'm just gonna have to burn it. We're just gonna have to burn the hell out of it. What's up, Mandriod? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Yes, I have set up activated carbon. And it has consumed quite a bit of coal dust, but we still have managed to fill up an entire 75k tank of refined syngas and our entire stockpile of activated carbon. Uh-oh, did I not limit drills? Nope, sure didn't. Drill head. No wonder I have no steel left. We ate all of our steel with drill heads. Oh my god. I made 5,000 drill heads, each of which require 1.33 steel. Oh god. Oh no. The humanity. The pie-manity of the situation. What? Missing materials. Hey now, that's not good. Apparently, we didn't ever automate arithmetic combinators. So that needs to change. That worked out nicely. Get the copper cable from there, get the batteries from there, and then put those in there. Arithmetic. Limit 1 stack. And I'm gonna go ahead and make a few just to get it started, so that it'll stop complaining at me. And that should be good to go. So yeah, I mean, we're literally... This is so tricky. And why did these stop running? Oh. Yeah, there's two things going on here that I'm trying to figure out. One thing I'm trying to figure out is, should we just pull the excess coal dust straight out and use it to power our factory? That feels like step one. Or should I? Oh no, I don't know what to do here. Ugh. Because we're gonna make coal dust in other places too. So then we would need a request for coal dust here. I guess I could turn this into the place where I trash coal dust, and then I'll need to add a coal dust requester onto this area. And then we'll have the requester feed into the provider. That just feels wrong. Oh, mods. Oh, it's a mod setting. What's it called? Milestones. Oh, red snapper. Very nice. Oh, man. We totally should have used that. Look at all those milestones. It is kind of rough without them being listed by group, though, but it is kind of cool to see them all next to each other. So I could see using both. Okay, so what am I doing here? So right now, coal dust is on the train network to make activated carbon. So then if we have byproduct coal dust, activated carbon will request that coal dust as well. So essentially this coal dust, if this is overflowing, which it is, then I just want to ditch it. So if this is coal dust greater than 7100, then we're out of here. And we are... The problem is it's not as energy dense as coal. I really need belt stacking. Because these all together use... Oh, they only use 40 megawatts. Okay, never mind. That's not as bad as I thought. Okay, so we're using the coal dust at higher priority than the coal. Only if we have enough of it. So this is going to... The downside... Jackson, Wild, you made it! Welcome, welcome. Did I already say that? I don't remember. Also, Harem about limiting inserters based on logistic network. I normally do that, and I will in the future once we have provider and requester chests. Just for those, since they're storage chests, I wanted to do one slot. Anyway, okay, so the problem here is that the ash processing can potentially make a metric ash ton of coal dust, which then will mean that I'm not getting any coal. So the problem with this setup is we might end up with 0 regular coal for our base, because this doesn't guarantee... Well, no. No, we're using the coal dust from this as well. No, never mind. We should get coal. Sorry, I was thinking because we're not burning coal. No. We're fine. Because we're burning the coal dust that would be backing up the coal as well. Okay, but these have stopped? Because I don't have enough molten salt. That doesn't make sense. I guess that's just because we have too much pressurized steam. Okay, yeah, I have more than enough hot molten salt is why. Okay, well, I think we've done all this properly. What am I gonna do with this soot from ash processing? I am separating that as well, and then smelting the bits so that it's as dense as possible. And we're getting a surprising amount of iron from this. I wonder if that's mostly from the iron oxide rather than this iron. Probably. It's 20% soot is only 2% iron ore. And yeah, it's the iron oxide that's building up here. So who knows what I end up having to do with this iron. But, yeah, anyway. Okay, so that's dealt with, I think, now. I think it'll take a little while. You know what? Here's a new question. Is this gonna consume enough? Might not be. .5 ash a second. If my base isn't using enough power, which it's not, it's only using 100 megawatts, right? Wait, is that right? My base is only using 100 megawatts? That doesn't sound right. Research is busted. Alright, how is research busted? Tell me your secrets. Oh yeah, Coke isn't working. Why isn't Coke working? Steam isn't working. Steam isn't working because, oh, this is literally killing my base because we're not consuming all of this ash. Jeez. If I put it on both sides of the belt, would it help? Technically it would, but it's getting there. It's getting there. I think this will catch everything up after a few minutes. Okay, so back to niobium. We just did organic solvent from the carbolic and naphthalene. But yeah, first I want to deal with this, which is output priority right. No, I can't use this one. Sorry, I have to do another splitter here of output priority right. Okay, and then this needs to just get consumed. How? Just boilers? Who knew I needed regular boilers again? This feels wrong. But what else am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? I don't think we need a ton. Because 2.5 ash a second is only a couple boilers. So this is just the panic mode. But then, see, I don't like this either, because then we don't have a little buffer here of, like, free power. We're pretty quickly turning from usable power to wasted power. But I guess if it's flowing... But it doesn't flow, it flows in spurts. A lot of interesting... I don't know. I mean, I always can just load her into a chest. And then we've got a nice little buffer there. Alright, and then these guys just get vented. No, I'm not going to worry about making power with it, because we already are making power with these. So if we needed power, we would have been using it over there already. So I don't think it's necessary to double back up my power. Hey, Nicaea, welcome, welcome. Glad you're catching the live stream. I always wondered why you fed the inputs from the belt straight into the processors as opposed to just adding a few outputs at the end of Ash Mountain to the processor. Blah, 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 blah. That's because the warehouse is already full, Dan Bopes, so it's kind of pointless. Like, I don't want to empty the warehouses, and I don't want to fill the warehouses right now. So them being kind of neutral at the moment is what I want. Eventually, when I need more, when I'm using large amounts of ash as like a, what's the word? 1.2 a second, yeah. Eventually, when I'm using large amounts of ash, I'll probably, you know, do something different with that, but... You miss live stream pie? Yeah, live stream pie is good. Good stuff. Alright. Wait, I've screwed this up. I need one more square, and then I can feed back onto this. But then we're not prioritizing it? Is that okay? Maybe? Vraux are next from the YouTube playlist. You're a little behind if Vraux are next. Okay, good. It does seem to grab that one first. Alright, well, this is probably good enough to consume excess coal dust. And then that way we still have coal dust for activated carbon. Okay, I think we're good. We're good now. That's what he says. He's not confident about it, but that's what he says. Alright, now we're ready to start mining niobium ore. Ta-da! I already have 5 niobium mines. Oh, and we ran out of steel. That's right, and we're still out of steel, aren't we? Oh, double check the inserters. Wait, what? Did I screw it up? That one's just unnecessary. But yeah, everything's fine otherwise. Steel. Steel is not lit up, so let's fix that. Okay, good. Iron's finally backing up. Makes me feel slightly better about things. The worst part is, like, I could upgrade my steel, but it just doesn't feel necessary right now. Because by the time I do it, it'll be backed up again. The issue that we discovered about an hour ago is that I spent it all on drill heads on accident because I didn't limit drill heads. So we've got just a cool 5,000 drill heads sitting here that represents what, like 7,000 steel that we used, which is unfortunate, and there's just nothing I can do about that. So that's kind of a bummer. All right, and by the way, this one's not hooked up, which it needs to be. And then it needs to be set to refined syngas. And then we need to hook that up to there. So now we can deliver refined syngas. Yeah, exactly. At least I won't run out of drill heads anytime soon. Joke's on me. LOL not. That's going the wrong direction. And we want to go down here. All right. So this is the zone of building niobium ore. Go ahead and collect a bunch of wood here. Why is that so loud? Code Green, you gotta turn down the vacuum on that thing. I love that we're vacuuming up trees. We're just ghost busting the forest itself. G-Host, that's why the plan is to not upgrade to Tier 2 fluid wagons. Don't you worry, we did think about that. And the reasoning is that I'm pretty sure that fluid wagons aren't ever going to be backing up, like, because their throughput's too small. So I'm just not worried about fluid wagon traffic. Like, I don't really think I care about having a 50k fluid wagon. I will say this is the most satisfying way to get rid of a forest. This might even be better than flamethrowers. Though it's still not better than the combat shotgun. I think the combat shotgun wins in my book. Combat shotgun is bae. All right, so we're gonna need drill heads in and then niobium out. So I could do a sushi, or I could do something simple. Cluster grenades are cool, but they're not as fun as combat shotgun for me. Yeah, no, the wagons go regular, half size is the ordering. So I do want to support solid wagons of half size. I don't care to support fluid wagons, which means we will end the game, if we beat the game. We will beat the game with tier 3 fluid wagons, and I'll never upgrade to tier 4. That's just my plan. I just don't think it's gonna matter that much. When you look at the fluid wagons, it goes from, well, it does double. It does go from 75k to 150k, but like, I think 75k is gonna be enough. I think it is. If it's not, maybe I'll have regrets. But yeah, I should just be able to do something like this, and then I can literally just feed the drill heads like this. Seems good to me. Pretty solid. And then we can just copy that build. So in this case, I need that one to be built. And then, dang, I didn't think about this. I don't have any landfill on me. Why don't I go grab some landfill, because I'm actually probably not that far from it. It's just to the west here. What is that? Is that lead? Coal reserve. You use kerosene to mine lead, or coal. No, a rock. Uh-oh. We're leaving Tim behind. No Tim left behind. Is what my policy should be. If you're using 100,000 fluid before another train can get there, something's wrong. Yeah, that was kind of my thought too. Or if we're just using, if we're using that high of a rate of a certain fluid, I can just set up a second train, right? Like, it's mainly just going from 25k to 75k that I might, you know, actually want to do at some point. But we can already support that. All right, there's a little bit of landfill. Wow, we're leaving another Tim? Somehow I managed to leave 2 Tims. Here's Tim number 1. I'll let you catch up. And we'll leave Jenny behind. We'll see when Jenny catches up. All right. So, Niobium mines are a go. Rygard, what's up? Congrats on the big 100. Thank you. We are getting there. So now I need... Do I have this basic F request? There we go. With refined syngas as the fluid. And then all we got to do is bring a tank into the situation. And then we should be able to store the refined syngas. Bloop. Right here. Wire that up to the input, which I have not seemed to do properly in the past. And then request refined syngas. 25,500. And we should see a train on the way any moment now. And then here... I just realized we're gonna need a third station. We need a fluid request, a solid request. No, we can do them in the same station. Haha. We'll just request drill heads here as well. Now, how many? 5 stacks, maybe? 10 stacks? We'll do 10 stacks at a time. I don't know how long they last. And it's not gonna tell me, is it? So these use 138 kilowatts. With efficiency 400. What does that even mean? Does that mean it only consumes a fourth of 138 kilowatts of drill heads? I think that's what that means. Which means 5 times 148 kilowatts divided by 4 means 185 kilowatts. And drill heads, I believe, are 5 megajoules a piece. And I did the wrong division, so we take it to the power of -1. And so I'm using 0.037 drill heads per second, which is 2 drill heads a minute, which is 120 drill heads an hour, which is 2 stacks an hour. So 10 stacks feels like a bit much, actually. But that is my request threshold, and I already hit enter, so I guess that's what we're getting. Why have I not seen a train yet? I feel like we screwed something up. Shouldn't this have already generated a request? It is requesting. Okay, drill heads are incoming. Why is coal slime overflow? What the hell? I'm sorry. Oh. I did the thing. Requested the wrong fluid. There it is. There we go. Now it should bring in the right thing. Okay, I do need to unload drill heads. Is that fast enough? 6 inserters for 1,000 items. Nah, it's gonna take a while. I don't want to do that. I'll just do normal loader here. Alright, and then that gets unloaded onto a belt, which comes over and down. And then niobium ore comes up. We pump this down. Here comes Tim. Here comes the Tim. Here comes the Tim. Where's the fluid input? Yo, Tiki McPhee, welcome, welcome. Thank you for those kind words. I'm glad you've been enjoying it. TNT, this is a fresh one. Ah, yes, there it is. Thank you, everybody. This is fresh based on, I don't know when you mean, but like, it's fresh as of a few months ago. So I imagine you are probably talking about Pi Season 2. Alright, so there's that. And any moment now we should see the fluid train, because those are really fast to fill. Uh-oh. Problems here too, huh? Now, I swear, cybernetic combinators output the request from the train. What is missing here? Anybody know? Like, it's not showing output signals of the request, but I'm 90% sure that's how they work. It shouldn't need to be wired to the station for CyberSend stuff. Oh, I'm right. I'm right. Negative 25K. Okay, it's working. Oh, did I select the wrong one? I can't do this. Oh, no. There we go. Oh, man. That is such a dirty thing that I'm gonna have to deal with this entire playthrough. And there's no way to prevent it. Because I have to have that enabled, because that's how we change assemblers' recipes based on ingredients, which we really want to do, especially as we get into the more mid to late game where we're doing train-based stuff. We're gonna be doing that. So we need those to be enabled that way, but it's just really rough. Yeah, I could do parameterization for it, but that doesn't necessarily fix that problem. I'm gonna run into that problem the whole game for a variety of reasons. Now this needs to be wired up, otherwise it's gonna keep requesting. And it already did. Well, we're gonna have Niobium drill heads 5 ever as well, apparently. Just ask Pi to make 10,000 unique icons, exactly. What I wish is that there was almost like... I mean, I guess there's not a good way to do it. Never mind. I was just thinking like a way that somehow those signals could be not there when I don't want them to be there, but then they are there when I want them to be there. Because most of the time I'm never going to want them to be there for filters. I would want them to be there for combinators, but even then it's only sometimes. It's only when I'm dealing with assembler stuff. So now that, yes, you guys are onto something. If those icons, which they don't appear when I'm searching my inventory, but if I click on this, like if I type syngas, oh wait, it doesn't show up here, but it does show up here. There we go. Like all these wrong signals, if they did have an R at the bottom, that would be really helpful, rather than the same icon. The ones that are not representing the actual item, if they had some sort of indicator, that would be great. It would be doubly great if somehow they had the number on them as well, but that's less important to me. Just having some way to visually distinguish them would be A+, because then that wouldn't happen. Now, I will say, even without it, this is something that I can manage without it. Like, I just need to make sure I'm selecting the actual icon, but it is kind of annoying. All right, and now what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna put this one on this side, which I wouldn't normally do for the niobium ore, and we'll load it in that way. But yeah, we got niobium ore, peeps. It's real. The beautiful light blue ore is a thing. I'm gonna take a screenshot of that for this episode's thumbnail. And then we're loading that in to here. And then we're sending that signal to the train network. And this is a provide station. And we call it niobium or P. And it's not, that's, put it on 1. It can in fact hurt me. No, it's not gonna hurt me because we already have a lot of the other steps done. In fact, I don't know if there's anything else left. We have the ore. The only other thing we need is HCl and organic solvent and nitrogen and salt, and I have all of those. I have all of those, baby. We are niobiuming it up. If such a sentence is real words. Now, I do need more niobium mines. We're very short on those, but I need steel for that, which I don't own. Okay, so problem, I can delete these. What was the problem I was just about to fix? Shoot, I already lost it. Oh, the name of this one is niobium or input R. Oops. And then someone else pointed out, unfortunately, the way I was naming drill heads was confusing because drill heads R makes it look like I'm requesting drill heads. So we do need drill heads input R. So the naming convention, I just can't find a good one. Great mind axis think alike. Indeed. Hey, Croptic, glad you've been enjoying the series and the FFK2. Hope you've, I guess, yeah, FFK2 was really fun. I really liked that. Did steel production ever go up? I think so. I saw both of them running a minute ago. Yeah. Yeah, we doubled it properly. I don't know why it was dead for a little bit. Oh, because of coke production, because of ash backing up. So. Yeah, the problem with IN is it kind of looks like LN. I don't know. Speaking of K2, I'm going to go work on it some more. Have fun, Rygard. Oh, man. Yeah, arrows could work. Other people talk about using them in icons. See you later, Harem. Mother's Day in UK. We'll have fun with that, everybody. J7, Rygard is the maintainer of K2, not the creator of K2. Okay, that was weird. Speaking of Putinator, we need to add his name in, and we're gonna put him in the Niobium thing. So, what did we decide? It was limestone in asphalt was really the way to do it. Because eventually I'll probably fill these blocks with asphalt or something. Is that 7? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Alright, so Putinator gets his name in game because he made the quick ride mod and he requested it, and he couldn't be here today. And it's a long name, but we're doing the full thing. Wait. Oh, I screwed that up. Get out of here, bots. I don't need your help. Putinator. Boom. Oh. Didn't think that one through, did I? Did I now? It's not fully homogeneous, but yeah, it's a little too much. If anyone is a graphic designer and would like to help pyanodons with their textures, because it's really hard to make them because of the way they tile and stuff. It's not easy. Wait, what? No, stop! You're stealing my stuff! That was funny. I changed the tile that was there, but it didn't change their deconstruction request. Alright, Putinator's the maker of the quick ride mod, and he's certainly earned having his name in game with adding the ability to hop onto trains. Anyway, what am I doing now? Niobium. So we need all the buildings for this, so we're gonna have to do some crafting here. And 300 nitrogen. Surely that's not possible. This is gonna be 75 DDCs, baby. Oh, jeez. Like, I knew we probably weren't gonna actually get to 8 a second, but I didn't know we'd be that far off. Good God. Now that's gonna be enough oxygen for the rest of the base if we did that. Jeez. Wow. Alright, so we're gonna go get some of the crafting buildings we need. Which, I'll need to pin this. So we can pull up the summary. Well, actually, I don't want the summary because I only need some of the buildings. So I need a bunch of electrolyzers. Which are, the steel. Do we have steel in a box somewhere? Maybe we're gonna be saved. If we don't have steel in a box, we're gonna have problems here. 685. Okay, that's not bad. And 298. Oh no. The steel in a box is my steel being provided. No, and the steel in that box is, no, I have no steel. I have 17 steel in a box. That's it. Well, We're officially out of steel, and it is ruining everything. Maybe it is time for molten iron. Okay, realistically, how quickly can I do molten iron in a small dose just to get a bunch of steel? Okay, so this build that I whipped up would be 32 molten iron a second. Let's cut that by, we'll say 8. So it's like 4 molten iron a second. How much steel would that be? Steel from molten. I haven't even researched it. Oh my god. Oh no. Okay, well we're gonna beeline that. What did I say? I said 4 a second. That would only be 1 steel a second. How much steel am I getting? Honestly though, 1 a second would double my steel production. I'm not even getting 1 a second right now. Yeah, no, I should put a limiter on the steel. Wait, was this supposed to be 2 things? Oh, not really. But I'm more just worried about the overall rate. But it's like 1 a second, so we might be okay here. Yeah, filtration media is pretty good on the purest nitrogen. That's always an option. For now, though, I just want cheap and easy, so that's just probably a bunch of DDCs. Which don't require steel, so let's work on those. What am I out of? Copper now? Yeah. Alright. Oh, man. Shoulder's killing me. Chemical plants. Okay, let me change these numbers real quick because I think I want to build half of this. To start. So we're gonna change that down to 4. And less than half of it for the nitrogen. So that leaves me with only needing 2 and 1. So we'll say 3 and 2. So exactly 5 chemical plants, 2 classifiers, 3 ball mills, which need steel, 2 jaw crushers, which need steel, and then 4 electrolyzers, which need steel. Okay. Getting there. There's 2 jaw crushers. You also need pressure pumps. Yep, a lot of pressure pumps. Ugh. Stretching is good. A Mark II powered tree farm. Ooh. 75 DDCs is actually cheap because we don't need steel for it. And at least for now, our iron is kind of irrelevant when it comes to steel cost. Yeah, I tweaked something in my shoulder. I don't think it's my rotator cuff. It's like something about the trap and how it connects, and I don't know. But it's been jacked up for like a couple weeks now, and I probably need to see somebody because it's not getting better, which is concerning. All right, ball mill. Where's one of them? This is riveting. Watching the steel flow in. Ugh. Alright, pressure pumps. How many pressure pumps do I need? Let's see. Air. So it's 200 a second. So we don't need many. 4 at this full build, which I'm not doing. So 2 is probably enough. course, they need steel as well. Good gravy. All right, there's gotta be something else we can do. What else did we have on the list? Get rid of oxygen. Blah, blah, blah. I can't do any of that right now. What I could do right now, because it only requires iron, is belt out my biocrud. Well, we should probably be done with this episode soon. But we can at least start that process, and then steel will build up between episodes a little bit, maybe. But yeah, what we need to do, because it's only gonna back up eventually, is get all of the biocrud that we have randomly being distributed onto a belt and get that out to the train network. So that way we're dealing with biocrud. So train bus is over here, so some sort of belt coming in, maybe from down here. Okay, I'm feeling that. So there's our biocrud belt, and it's going to share with, or maybe it'll just go on this belt. Yeah, okay, so there's biocrud. I would love, Ragart's probably already gone, but I personally do not like this. I don't like that you can't, it's just, I don't know why. I'm sure they changed it for some reason that makes sense for probably a lot of players, but for me, I want the blueprints to instantly deconstruct. I don't want to have to do this thing where I mine one of them and then I can click and drag. For me, that actually really is not how I like the blueprints and map view to work. I just want to be able to right click over them and drag immediately. Yeah, I mean, again, like I said, I'm guessing you changed it because that works better for most people to prevent accidental deconstructions or something, but for me, I actually really hate it. Can mods change that, or is that the kind of thing that mods can't ever touch either, and I'm just gonna be a sad little panda? I'm imagining mods can't fix that either. Maybe they can. Oh, sad. Yeah, I mean, again, like I said, I'm not saying it's necessarily an intentionally bad design decision. I just personally, like, for my workflow, it's really bothersome, because it's this weird thing of like, you have to mine one of them, but then you can click and drag. Whereas, like, when you're in person, you have to mine each one. And in the old system, before Space Age, you could just click and drag immediately. And it feels like this weird mixture that it's like, it always just breaks my brain either way. Okay, so we've got biocrud building up here. So let's get these out. And what we'll probably do is just a factory search for biocrud, and we can find all of our spots. Where it's showing up. Yeah, using the decon planner works, but the problem is decon planner only works in squares, and that can be annoying. But yeah. And the other problem is, like, the decon planner sometimes hits stuff that you don't want to hit. Here's most of the biocrud, is this one right here, because of how we're doing cellulose. Which is funny, because we're not even using copper zinc batteries anymore. Should I just kill this process? Yeah, I should. Copper zinc batteries are done forever. Like, straight up forever. So, and this cellulose isn't doing anything other than copper zinc batteries. So we are free to just delete this. This feels wrong and bad, but I'm doing it. Yes, that is what cousin stands for. CUZN. Ah! Alright. So these are dead. These are dead. Now, hopefully these signals weren't doing anything other than that. Doesn't seem like they are. I think those signals were only for that. Yeah. We're deleting Cousin Batteries because Cousin Batteries is no longer needed. He's weird and we don't like him. So Cousin Batteries can go bye-bye. Oh, inventory's full. Time for a trash chest. Filled with logs and limestone. Wow, there's a lot going on that copper zinc batteries ended up needing. I'm also curious, did I like delete a load-bearing power pole somewhere on accident? $590. No, we're good. What did Cousin Battery ever do to me? He beat me up when I was a kid. Alright, BioCrud. Well, that's not BioCrud. Okay, so BioCrud's here. And then, yeah, there's like a lot of weird places it shows up. So we'll deal with that in the beginning of the next episode. But I think we'll call this an episode for those here live. Stick around, we're gonna keep streaming. I don't think I broke the fluid network, don't worry. I don't generally have the pass-through of a building being part of the spine of a fluid network, partially for this reason. But yeah, so for those of you from future YouTube, as always, thank you for watching. Let me know what you think down in the comments, and I'll see you guys in the next one.